Thank y'all so much for coming out tonight. This is actually my first storytellers event, but definitely not the first story I've ever told. And thank you so much to those who have shared so far, Corin, Lacey, Tracie. I actually just got finished with a paper, my last undergraduate assignment ever, right before I came here. And it was for memory of psychology, and what did I write about but storytelling? That's a funny coincidence. And so I really do believe that there's something very powerful about getting to tell your experiences and reminisce about things that have happened in your life, and especially the power of being able to share it with other people, which was some of the things that I explored in that paper. But as long as we're talking about heritage and family, I wanted to share a story that I was not around for. It actually was about my great-grandfather who lived in London. So here it goes. My great-grandfather served on the last wooden naval ship during World War I, and there was a night that he was on duty, and he fastened a hammock out of rope to go to sleep. And his commanding officer found him on duty, and he cut the rope, and he fell to the ship deck, and he jumped up, and he punched his commanding officer, which was a treasonable offense. So he was charged with treason. Yeah, that's a capital offense. So he was going to be killed if he was taken into justice. And it just so happened that his shipmates liked him enough that they rubbed him down with lard and squeezed him out of the porthole of the ship. And he swam 2 miles to shore, where he lived incognito for a year. There was like wanted posters of his face around the area, and he decided that, oh, by the way, I just want to tell you, he's got a really great name. His name was John Blackburn, so I feel like that's kind of appropriate for the story that we're telling right now. So yeah, he lived incognito for a year, and he decided that he wanted his life back. And I don't know if y'all know a whole lot of like English history. I think Dr. Whisker probably does. But the British Army and the British Navy didn't like each other very much, and so he reckoned that the only way he would get his life back is if he joined the Army. So he did, and very quickly, they were able to tell that he's had military training. So they asked him, like, you know, who are you? And he came clean. And they decided that they valued him enough for the Army, and they were happy that they could get a guy from the British Navy because, you know, them. So he got pardoned by the king, and he served in World War I. That's pretty interesting, I would say, and probably one of the most interesting stories of anyone in my family, even though I've never been to England and I've never met him. But one of the most heartfelt things I know about him actually came afterwards during World War II, when the London Blitz happened, and my grandmother, who I am named after, Frances, that's my first name, by the way, she was like only 12 years old, and a lot of the neighborhood houses were being struck by bombs. And so he would wake up in the morning and would help try and find some of his neighbors and family and children in the rubble, which I think is just like a testament to who he was. Like, he wasn't like proud. I think he really was somebody who was like there to help other people for a good cause. And, you know, my grandmother, like, lost a lot of her friends whom she went to school with during that time. But having gone through that experience with a family that was so close and so committed to their community, her impact of him, or rather her perception of him, was always very dear. So my dad told me that story one time, and I just could not believe it, and I wanted to be able to share that with y'all, and I hope you think as highly of him as I do. Thanks.